Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we're getting into chapters 2 and 3 of Tower of God. We are getting into more of season 2 of Tower of God. Last video, we kind of got a little bit of an introduction. We had Lady Yuri meeting up with one of the other princesses and striking a deal to find Bomb, but that was kind of the only reference we got to the other characters that we've met in season 1 up to this point. And then chapter 1, where the official story of the season started, we started off with a new character who is trying to pass level 20 desperately and not doing a great job at it. He keeps failing, but he is willing to put literally everything he has into it, and we had him entering the test for another time, probably like the last time. He has put all of his organs on the line to be able to do this, so I'm assuming this is like his last chance, as the title of the chapter suggested. So we had him entering into the part of the test and saw a mysterious figure there with a bunch of people lying on the ground, probably dead, if not horrifically injured. So we'll have to wait and see where we end up with this next chapter. So let's get into chapter 2. Season 2, chapter 2. I want to find out who this is. I'm kind of nervous. I feel like because they have like red on their outfit and it looks a little bit like eyes, I just immediately think some kind of direct connection with Jihad, but maybe that's oversimplifying. Follow-up question. I know pronouns aren't always the best in the translation, which is why I just like didn't assume what gender we were dealing with, but we're getting he, him pronouns. Is this Bomb? That's my prediction for right now, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Brown hair, super powerful, quiet type. I mean, it's been 5 years. I feel kind of bad for him if he has to go up against Bomb though, because I feel like there might have been a time where Bomb was like optimistic enough to be like, let's just pass this test together, but I don't know if he's there anymore after everything with Rachel. Oh, going for the partnership thing. Good. Interesting parallel with like the test at the beginning of season 1 with like the first floor, or the first floor, the Evan Kell's floor, the first one where they had to actually make teams and have partners. So kind of like a parallel where like Bomb was like really optimistic about that. I know it might not be Bomb, but like for a second we had like Bomb being really optimistic to like have a partner, and even like Kuhn was like, yeah, I'm gonna find a really good partner. And then now we have like someone else trying to like create a partnership, but I feel like it's not gonna work out. Yeah, I don't think they're interested. Or maybe they are. Maybe they're like, okay, if I don't have to fight, then whatever. Willing to just wait it out. Who's the next one gonna be though? Are they gonna be able to recruit them? I'm like nervous about who's gonna be. Is it gonna be a character we know, or is it gonna be like a new character? Oh, hello. You are quite tall. With a wing of some kind? It almost looks like it's Shinsu. Like it was like, yeah, we're gonna attack. And then after seeing a little bit of a size difference, he's like, so what are your thoughts on like a partnership? Seems to be his go-to. I mean, his like goal is survival, right? That's the point of the test. It's a survival thing, so they can partner up. Some silent brooding types that he's stuck in the middle of. I wonder who it is though. Oh, hello. You're probably a lot scarier than you seem. I feel like you gotta watch out for the small adorable ones. They got something going on. You don't make it to the 20th floor of the tower without being pretty powerful. Doesn't mean you can't use the cute charm though. We have another one? Yep. It's like, yeah, we're gonna like defeat all the other participants, and then they're all just like sitting around waiting. I mean, that would work though. You still pass the test, right? It's whoever's left over, so you don't have to fight. Who's next? Oh, hello. I also have glasses. I'm assuming they're like glasses. Ponytail. I feel like this is just me accidentally wandering into the tower. Sister. Are they actually related? Or is it endearment? Like they're just having a moment like, oh, you're here too? It's like, I think they're all nice. Probably. Just ignore the fact that there was like some bodies on the floor when you walked in. They're all nice. Don't worry about it. The turmoil. Making friends is fine for now. I'm sure that the tower will do something to make it awful for everyone involved. Are we having a meltdown moment? You don't have to all be rivals. Making friends is a good thing. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to fight. I mean, like, why fight and risk getting injured or like tiring yourself out? You can just wait it out. I guess part of it is like he wants them to take this seriously because he's tried so hard and he keeps failing, and he sees it as like this big challenge, and then you have all these people who are kind of flippant about the experience. I get how that might be a little bit frustrating, because if you've tried so many times and you've like put everything you have into it, and then there's like people who are just like chatting and having fun, it must be a little bit frustrating to be like, I have tried so hard to be here, and then other people who are just like stronger or have had a easier time than you are like not taking it seriously. You don't need to be mean to her though. Plus, you don't know if she was abandoned. It could have been that she's actually really strong and she just decided to do her own thing. You don't know her story. Aww. Okay, like don't cry though, because you cry, I cry, okay? I was not prepared for that. See, just don't be mean. You don't know her story. She doesn't know yours, so she doesn't understand the stress that you're under. Everybody just needs to calm down and be nice to each other. Who is it now? Looks almost like a military cut with the like double rows of buttons. Oh, hello. I mean, maybe he's just edgy. Maybe he's really nice, but he just has a darker sense of aesthetic. Again, we don't know everybody's story. He could also be dangerous though. Probably dangerous. I mean, again, 20th floor of the tower. Everyone's a little bit dangerous. It's just, you know, relative how dangerous. Yeah, see, we just wait it out, right? We don't need to fight, shake hands. It'll be fine. I don't know. I'm also a little bit apprehensive. Yeah, you're gonna have to go up against each other for the next test, but wouldn't it be better than like not to fight? Because if you fight someone and it turns out that you don't beat them, then they know about your power. Wouldn't it be better to just like hold off, keep your ability to yourself and like your capabilities, and then when you actually have to fight someone, they don't know what they're up against? That would be my take. Especially since now, if you fight and take someone out, you don't get any like benefits from that in the test, you know what I mean? Like in the hide and seek game, it was like, oh, if you show off your abilities in a way that like shows how like competent you are in using your abilities and your skills set and stuff like that, then you got like bonus points. So even if you lost the round, you could still pass the test if you had enough points. So maybe if you have some easy people to pick off in the next test, you might actually get some points for it. You gotta think ahead. I don't know about the vote system. Wouldn't you just vote for yourself? Except that he's like already like skewed that from voting for like a specific person and a child, because you want that like, you want to seem benevolent, right? Because then people might vote for him if he seems like a nice person. Why do I feel like the vote might not matter though? Like if he's powerful enough and they just like vote for him not to pass, then he'll just take them out. Ah, okay. So they're going to be like voting people out. So maybe it was a translation thing, because it says like with the most votes get out of this room, I'm feeling like the two people who have the most votes would pass. But if it's the opposite, then maybe he's being a bit shady with voting for the child. Are we voting for him to not pass? We're being antagonistic right away? I think he's not doing a great job for the whole vote thing. Shouldn't you want him around? Just saying. We're actually saying words. Look at you participating. The confidence though. I really do feel like it's Bomb. And it's just like a very different vibe because he's been through some stuff. And it's been a while. I hope we get a face reveal by the end of the chapter though, because I'm so close. I'm like, I want confirmation. I want to know if I'm right. No! Fine, next chapter, but I want a confirmation. Oh, I feel like picking a fight is not a good idea. Look, I don't want to like him, but the aesthetic, I'm kind of here for it. The like lighter hair with darker clothes, earrings, cane weapon thing going on. I don't want him to stick around though. I feel like this is gonna end poorly for him. Yeah. Ooh, I feel like we're gonna get some skills. If it is Bomb, we're gonna see some like actual fighting skills, which is not really where Bomb was at when we saw him. The flowing hair though. I like how we're getting lots of shots that are like really close up, like closed off, because it feels very claustrophobic. And I feel like that really goes with the like feeling of someone like coming at you really quickly and kind of surprising you. Is like, one, you're like hyper focused on them, but also you feel claustrophobic because the movements are like constantly coming within like your personal space. And then we have like distance and we pull out. We finally have like a time for him to like reorient himself. I feel like he was willing to play fair until we had someone trying to like, you know, take control of the situation, mess around with the rules and stuff. Also a cool setup, because I'm pretty sure it's Bomb. So cool setup to have like immediately a bunch of people up against him and show how much he's changed, because we've seen before where there was this, you know, struggle with fighting, especially like last time we saw Bomb was up against the bull and all of his thing of not being able to block and also attack. Like he couldn't do defense and offense with his Shinsu at the same time, and he didn't have like combat skills of just like hand-to-hand fighting, so he was kind of very reliant on being able to use Shinsu and had to figure out a way to like switch from blocking to attacking really quickly. So then to set up having him being able to fight a bunch of people is like a really good contrast of like how much he's grown in that time frame. Also, like not super important to the story, but the highlighting on the hair, very well done. We had some points where it was like moving and there was like strands that were like lighter to kind of show it like reflecting off and stuff like that. Just some appreciation. Are you a friendly giant? Because I quite like those, and I would be okay with adding another one to my collection. Just putting the offer out there. Aw. See, if it's Bomb, it feels sad because we had so much of him not wanting to be alone, wanting to be with his friends, wanting to be part of a team, not wanting to leave anyone behind, of him like trying really hard so that everybody gets to like pass the test and continue and stuff, and then having the contrast of like deciding not to team up with people and deciding that it's better off to be on his own. That's so sad. But I like Sweet Bomb, who just wanted to be friends with everybody. See, this is why I'm still mad at Rachel. Look what she did. Oh, I wanted you to be a friendly giant. I feel like you're not gonna make it out, especially since they seem like they're going to be fighting amongst themselves a bit too. Yeah, everybody's got a little antsy now. We've like popped the bubble of like temporary truce, and now everyone's going off the rails. Is it good for you? Whoever wins is probably gonna turn on you. Just say, I mean, maybe the time will run out. You can dream. Ooh, look at the movement though. I like how we have someone who's like more like close-up combat, it seems, and then someone who's like better at like a distance, and fighting both of them simultaneously is like a cool balance to the fight. But they're not working together, so I don't know if it'll work super well. I like the like shapes out of the Shinsu though, where that's like part of his power is like the way that he crafts the Shinsu. Didn't we have that with one of the people that was with Lady Yuri, where he made like the hammer thing, and that's how we squished Ren? Similar thing? Oh dear. Are we just forgetting that there's someone else also here who's like not fighting them at the moment? I mean, ooh, that's a cool design though, with like the gradient from the hands. And I like that it's like a darker blue in comparison. Like we have like a lighter red and a lighter blue, and then you have kind of these darker tones. It's a good contrast. Yeah, he uses Shinsu. Yeah. Wow though, look at that. I mean, again, talked about comparison to Bomb before of like not being able to control that much, and now we have this, so little bit stronger than previously, one might say. This is so cool though, like the wisps, like the not only the gradient, but then you have like the hair balancing it out, and then you have like the really long clothing. There's something like incorporeal about him, right? It's almost like everything about him is like movement constantly between like the clothing and the Shinsu and the hair. It's just cool. Probably more difficult to draw, but cool. Is he a what? I don't know what that means. I would like a note. Ah, rhyme syndicate. I don't know. I don't think we're getting into that. Is that what Bomb's been doing? I'm kind of interested though. I mean, it's against the Great Family, so it makes sense contextually, but also makes me a little bit nervous. I don't know if we want to be with criminal types. Maybe they're okay though. Maybe they're like charming rogues. I don't know. I did notice the pattern though. I'm assuming it was important about something. I mean, I'm assuming he had to go through the process of the tower normally. We did see some jumping around when he was traveling. Bomb's a special case. I mean, probably. That seems to be where we're at. It was like at least have them all grouped together so you could just do it all in one swoop. Oh, okay. New person wandering into a bit of a heated situation. So sorry about that. Too late. Didn't even have a chance. Yeah. See, look at the way it like blends into the smoke and stuff. I'm here for it. No, I need confirmation. I think I'm right, but I want confirmation anyway. So even though it hasn't been revealed officially in the story, I'm pretty sure it's Bomb, because like who else would it be? Why bother setting up someone with immense Shinsu abilities and fighting tactics who also happens to have brown hair and is kind of quiet and stuff? It's probably Bomb. That's probably where we're at. I'm gonna assume that I'm right until proven otherwise. But really cool contrasts of like Bomb's story where we left him and where he is now, and we've got introduced to this crime syndicate, which I think is actually kind of cool as someone who just like has had an interest in kind of the, I don't know, sociology of organized crime. I don't know a good way to say this, doesn't make me sound weird, but you know, like it's interesting. I'm kind of person who did a whole project about the culture of prisons, so it's fascinating to like try and understand people who like have a very different like mini culture within another culture, you know, and the fact that it makes sense to have someone who's like opposed to the great families, who's a bit rebellious against them. But I find it interesting that it's like someone who's rebellious against the great families, but it's framed as a like crime syndicate as opposed to like a rebellious group or people who are like activists or something. Like we're associating with crime, which I'm assuming is something that like the great families would want to do. But the fact that other people see them that way too, I think is interesting because we're not painting them in a positive light for being rebellious, for going against the great families. So there's something about this group of people that like isn't seen as like heroic or seen as like just or anything like that. They're definitely something that people are like afraid of and don't want anything to do with. Like there's something ominous about that group. So I find it interesting that we're introducing that as opposed to a group that's like rebellious in a positive way that people look up to. Yeah, lots of things being through like world building things and a bit of an ominous end where they're kind of stuck in this room and are just assuming that they're probably not gonna make it. Doesn't seem like that's gonna gonna be the way that it goes. We have Bomb being very against teaming up with people, which is a very strong contrast to what we saw before. We're switching from someone who was like very trusting and like wanted friends and having people around and whose biggest fear was being alone, to now accepting loneliness and accepting being on his own while going through the tower and probably not trusting people given what happened, which just makes me more interested to see the other regulars, the other characters we're already introduced to, not only because I want to check in with them, but also because at some point Bomb and people he's already met are going to have to meet up again, and I will be very interested to see what that does. I feel like we're going to stay with Bomb on his own for a while and kind of see where he's at, and then probably see where the other characters are at, like separate from that. But then once they have to come together, you're like Kun and Shibitsu and Dorsey and stuff, like meeting up again, I feel like it'll be really interesting to see how that affects Bomb and like what kind of that jarring moment is going to be, because I feel like it'll be interesting to kind of see the two sides of who he is collide, like who he was when he was very innocent and trusting and was friends with them, and then who he is now, and trying to like figure out how those two things mesh together or like evolve into something else. So far, very pulled in to the second season. Definitely see the art evolution. There's some cool movement and like textures incorporated into it, some like little details that just add to like the feeling. I really liked the design choices with Bomb. I'm just gonna keep calling him Bomb because I'm assuming that's who we're dealing with, of like having the longer hair and the flowing clothes, and then having the like gradient from the hands to kind of turn him into like this shadowy, almost like ghoulish character that was kind of like looming there. So I really like some of the design choices, but you can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to miss next time I post a Tower of God video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!